I want to talk about Citizen Advisory Council, CACs, as they're commonly known as in Raleigh, North Carolina. Hello, I'm Whitney Hill, Whitney for Raleigh. I'm going to go through, to get started here, a quick history on CACs so you understand what they are. They were actually started back in 1974, and they operated for decades in Raleigh before they were disbanded. I'll get into talking about that. But um, the CACs were actually started up under Clarence Lightner while he was mayor of Raleigh back in 1974. And at the time, they were one of the things that was really motivating them to start up the CACs was to get a federal block grant, which they ultimately were not awarded, but they were very popular. They're known as CACs, citizen advisory groups, and they were neighborhood-based forums that gave residents a voice in local government, particularly on rezoning, housing, transportation, and accountability. So these groups were met on a monthly basis, and city administration and city council members would come into these and keep the citizens advised. Any citizens are allowed to come to these meetings and advise them on what's going on with Raleigh, and also get feedback from the citizens on what their views were on particular projects and issues, and all the different things that the city's involved with. The the there was a period there where critics were questioning them on their diversity, but actually, at one time, when there were 19 CACs, the leadership was roughly balanced. 9 CACs were chaired by Black individuals, 10 by white individuals, and renters, homeowners, uh, you know, people from different walks of life were officers in the CACs. So here's where the problems started happening. In 2020, the Raleigh City Council voted without public notice to disband the CAC system. At that time, CACs had operated for over 46 years with city support, including staff and modest funding. Council members Mary Ann Baldwin and Sage Martin led the move, surprising many residents and even other city council members. 9 of the 18 CACs continued to meet informally without official recognition. Following the disbandment, the city commissioned a $70,000 community engagement study. I don't think there was anything really of significance that came out of that study other than, really, that there were some gaps in inclusion. I don't really know what that would be, but in 2021 and 22, the city began to develop an enhanced community engagement strategy in the gap of the city advisory councils being shut down. Reinstatement in 2024, after years of advocacy from city advisory council leaders and residents, on February 6, 2024, the Raleigh City Council voted unanimously to officially reinstate and support the CAC structure. The vote restored recognition for 18 city councils under a coordinating Raleigh CAC body. And that charge was actually led by Christina Jones, who was on city council then. The reinstatement included free access to city community centers, meeting technology, outreach effort, and some financial support. However, the precise advisory um, authority of CACs, especially over zoning, remains to be clarified. And what I think that's really saying there, folks, is that as far as being able to have any kind of teeth, as far as passing anything that is going to affect what the city council actually does, doesn't mean I think that they couldn't call for a vote in there and send that information up to the city council folks. But by and large, the main thing that these advisory councils are there to do is to communicate information to city leaders and for city leaders and the city administration to be able to exchange information back and forth. And so that's what they're really for, and that's what they're going to be doing. And this is a role I think that's really important for the city because otherwise, city council members do get feedback from constituents, and there is the opportunity to go up and get your 3 minutes at city council and be able for individual citizens to be able to go up and do that. And you can always communicate with city administration, but this is where there can be some group discussion and information exchanged. I think it's a really valuable thing. So right now, city council CACs can get meeting space for free in city community centers, and they're coming back, and I believe coming back strong. So uh, I am going to. I've taken over the role of in the Raleigh North CAC from Charles Patton, and I think Charles has probably done a great job with this. Uh, and I really appreciate a handoff the handoff I'm getting from him to do this. The other CAC that I'm very familiar with is the one that's in Midtown that Larry Halfont has been chairing for some time. So I'm getting back in and being really involved with this. But I'm going to invite folks to find out what their local CAC is in Raleigh and get involved with it. And this is an opportunity for you to be able to get the ear of city council members and of city administration on various topics. Typically, a typical meeting involves someone from city administration coming in and talking about a particular topic, and usually there's going to be someone from the police department come in or someone from the fire department come in on a pretty regular basis to talk about what's going on there. And it is really an opportunity to really get involved and give feedback. And there's typically also a person who's going to come in to talk about a particular project or issue that's going on from the city administration. So that's what CACs are about. My name's Whitney Hill, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click on the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up for this so that more people can see these videos. Thanks.